Welcome to round 3 of 4 at the Discraft Green Mountain Championship. We're in Smuggler's Notch, Vermont. Returning back to Brewster Ridge Disc Golf Course, I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two Hot Geese.
Honk.
It was a beautiful day today.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Ideal conditions.
I woke up and saw 38 degrees and I panicked a little, but then once you got out there, it was really nice.
Yeah, got out to a nice warm 60 or close to it by the end of the day.
Yep, no wind.
Awesome. We're watching Kristin Tattar, Henna Blomroos, Vanessa Van Dyken, and Ohn Scoggins shred the woods today.
Yeah, it's yesterday was pretty brutal at Fox, swirly and crazy wind, so it's going to be nice to go back to the beautiful fairyland that is Brewster Ridge. Hole 1, it's 322 feet. It's a gentle turnover according to the fairway, but I think a straight shot works best here. It's the lowest risk shot and the highest reward. The straighter you go, the closer you get to the circle. There is no out of bounds you have to worry about. Just keep it out of the woods. Early left and right are really rough to recover from.
First in the tee, from Pärnu, Estonia, our current world champion, holding a 2-stroke lead, throwing for latitude 64. Let's hear it for Kristin Tattar.
Kristin shot a -2 at round 1. You can check that out on the GK feature card from day 1 out here at Brewster. And then yesterday shot a 6 down at Fox Run, so she's just shredding both courses.
Yeah, she was one of 2 rounds under par in round 1 at Brewster Ridge, Henna being the other.
Yeah. Oh, that's just picture perfect.
Next up, from Rauma, Finland, hot on Kristin's tail with a 2-stroke difference. Sponsored by Innova Champion Discs. Let's hear it for Henna Blomroos.
Henna with the hot round the first day.
Yeah, she shot a 3 under, beating Kristin by 1 day 1. Henna's shot, let's see, 1,000 rated rounds in 5 of her last Elite Series and Major rounds.
Wow.
Which is nuts.
Didn't quite make it through that last corner, but it kicks out into the fairway and it'll be a pretty easy up and down.
Next up, San Diego, California, sponsored by Discraft. Let's hear it for Vanessa Van Dyken.
Vanessa with a really strong showing this week. She always has a really solid game and mental game, but it's really nice to see her on the lead card this week at the Green Mountain Championships.
Yeah, we know she's been dealing with some injuries the past couple years. She does have plenty of top 10 finishes, though, in the last couple years. She's had 26 different top 10 finishes. So she, is a consistent player, but doesn't necessarily get onto the lead card or podium quite as often. But she's, not unused to being in the mix.
Mm-hmm. You guys know her. She's been one of the strongest faces on tour this year. Had strong finishes even in the Masters divisions, at majors. She's all over the place, and she's doing it well. Yeah,
she's been on the lead card in the last 5 events and 8 of the last 12 Elite Series and Major events this season.
Wow.
Just seeing a lot of Ohn, which is my favorite.
Yeah,
as you all know.
Consistent is the word.
And this is what we were saying yesterday if you watched the round. Vanessa, you see some players try to get greedy, and Vanessa just takes her medicine, pitches out, moves on. It's hard to do.
Yeah. It's really hard to do, especially on a course like this, because there are gaps that you can hit.
Yeah, to try to maybe save your par, be a hero. Vanessa does leave her upshot short, though. Henna's second.
So good at those little turnover backhands.
Yeah, she was throwing that red P2 all day yesterday on some pretty cool lines. Vanessa for bogey. And splashes out low left. Ohn in for a good par. Birdie. Wow, I'm doing great today.
It's hole 1.
I know.
Dealing with
Jeez.
stuff.
Kristin for birdie.
It's been a long season, guys. The course played a little easier for the FPO today. We only had 4 holes averaging under par as opposed to 2 in round 1. But still, overall, it averages 4.5 strokes over par.
Yeah, only 20 people going to make it to play tomorrow, which is pretty nuts.
It's cut day.
Hole 2 is a really difficult uphill par 4. I don't think anyone birdied it round 1. 550 feet. You see this out of bounds line on the right. There are not a ton of artificial OBs out here, so that's kind of something to contend with. And then the fairway really diverts to the right up here. So if you don't get far enough on your tee shot, it's really hard to make any progress on your second shot to get a look at birdie. So almost everyone playing for par here. You're just trying to get up past the wood chips on your first shot, get into the second fairway on your second shot, and then pitch up and take a par.
Yeah, it takes a really great placed drive on your first shot in order to attack on the second. Kristin showing us a pretty good example of that. She might be able to attack with a flex forehand, but she's one of the few in the game that has that type of a shot.
Mm-hmm. But because I said everyone's playing for par, do you think we're going to see 2 birdies?
I think we're going to see at least 2. That's how it be.
Ohn throwing, I think, a TL or a Leopard 3. She does throw mostly destroyers, though.
Henna getting every bit of distance with, is that our Thunderbird again?
I think Champion Rock 3.
Oh,
Nope. That's next hole. Beast.
Okay, I was
Champion
about to
Beast. I was
going
to say the angle of the disc did not look like that.
Yeah, it carried a lot of ground.
That was a beautiful shot.
This is,
This is in danger.
oh, it always catches it right there at the end.
And that's really early to be out of bounds for Vanessa. It's going to be tough just to save par. Look at this footing, or to save bogey even. Look at this footing. And that's going to be a little bit more left than you want. You see all those trees in the way.
This played as the 3rd most difficult hole, and that right there is the reason why a lot of people are finding themselves in double bogey position quickly.
So Ohn hitting the gap nicely and trickling into the woods a little bit, but she's pretty close and should be able to manufacture an upshot to get a par.
Yeah, she doesn't really try to bite off too much.
I think that's smart.
Yeah. The way to play this hole. Kristin, on the other hand, giving the disc lots of air, working that flex forehand.
Oh, so good.
Yep, she's just outside circle 1, but she's got a putt.
There's not really any other way to get there without the flex forehand with a ton of power, too.
Yep. Vanessa throwing out of bounds, which is scary, but she meters the angle and speed just right.
Yeah, good touch. Henna now with the Rock 3.
Wow.
Nuts.
Crazy.
All right, so like we said, at least 2 birdies. We got chances.
Vanessa taking the right side gap. It's there. It's still a little scary because if you're off a little, you can easily go out of bounds again.
That was perfect.
Nestled right up to the bottom of the pin.
But kind of a rough start for Vanessa here. Looking at 2 double bogeys. Ohn with just a little chip shot. Throwing a flex line always. One of the, probably the best at the game at throwing a flex consistently.
100%.
Both forehand and backhand.
Kristin with a birdie bid. Gives it a soft little Annie run.
Henna from just outside the circle. Uphill look at birdie.
Standstill.
Ooh,
Dead center.
there we go. That's
Well,
a great putt.
We saw 1 birdie, and there was only 2 on the day. Missy Gannon getting the other.
Nice, because she's that power player now, that distance power player.
It's official.
GK replay, see that one more time. It's a really confident putt.
Yep, I love the standstill straddle.
Ohn with a nice easy par.
55% of the field taking a bogey or worse on hole 2. This one plays rough. Hole 3 is uphill 280, plays closer to 300 or maybe 310. It's a par 3, no out of bounds you have to worry about, just an elevated basket. Check out the graphic on the left side. GK Pro's giving away 2 VIP tickets and a trip to the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship in one of the newest disc golf meccas, Charlotte, North Carolina. All expenses paid. Go check it out. There's details in the description for how to enter.
I think Charlotte's had good disc golf for a long time, but now everyone like really knows, and we're playing
like,
huge tournaments there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And like a lot of disc golfers are moving there.
Yeah,
and
totally.
calling it home base. Good weather in the winter.
Henna, that was definitely her Champion Rock 3.
This is one of the few holes that averaged under par. So this is one that everyone wants to get.
Oh, I love this line. The straight shot with just a little bit of fade. The hill just kind of carries it. That was a St. Pro from Kristin.
She's dialed.
Perfect. Ohn, try to flex it. It's fading out just a little early. You see this really commonly. Leaves you kind of a sketchy circle 2 putt. I mean, Ohn is 100% going to run that, but it's risky with the slope behind the pin.
Yeah, and it's slightly elevated. Vanessa.
Good line.
Yep. Riding the right side all the way down.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely the best way to get there. Come on, Ohn. I said you definitely run that. That was smart, though. Like, even, yeah, you can tell Henna, I don't even know if that was a bid.
Yeah. Vanessa's always going to run it, though.
Heck yes.
There we go.
That's a good way to shake off a couple double bogeys.
And a tap in for Kristin. Is that 2 down through 3?
Mm-hmm. Oof, that is math.
Even though this is one of the easiest holes on the course, only 18% of the field getting a birdie. That's only 7 people. Wow.
Brewster's hard. Mm-hmm. Let's see how hard. A few people under par here. Let's see. Missy Gannon moving up to a tie for 3rd. She's 2 down through 4. Ella Hansen 2 down through 4, moving up to 5th. Vanessa slipping just a little bit, but it's early. Everyone else either even or just a couple over par. Again, even par is going to be a great score out here. If you can get under, you're probably going to move up a few spots.
Yep.
Another uphill par 4, 550 feet. You can go left or right of that first tree, depending on how aggressive you want to get. You want to land somewhere near this big tree we just passed, and then navigate this very tight fairway here. So difficult to get all the way up here. Once again, for a look, I don't think there's any out of bounds at all. There used to be, but not anymore. Yeah, it averages almost a stroke over par. It's super hard. It's really similar to hole 2, like in vibes, but it feels like you can get it a little easier because you don't have that weird switch in out of bounds wall and like a switch in where the fairway is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's more one continuous line.
Although it is, you can't go a full power shot on this tee.
Not quite.
Yeah.
You can if you go left side
Anheuser,
on an Anheuser, but it's risky.
Mm-hmm. Being early right where Kristin's forehand just landed can be brutal.
So I think most people take this route, right? The right side. That was a great shot from Vanessa. But 3 ladies on my card took the Anheuser route on the left, and I was the only one to take the Heiser route. And I was like, what don't I know here?
Yeah.
What do they know that
feel
I
like
don't?
Most people throw that left side.
You think so?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That I've watched. I was the only person to throw the Heiser.
Funny.
And you're just getting an insane amount of distance.
Yeah.
Through some trees.
That's that Champion Beast again. Tucked on the right side, though.
I think strokes are added here on the second shot, trying to navigate that narrow tunnel that Erika was talking about. There's no out of bounds, but once you get off the fairway, it's kind of like you're adding a stroke because you can never really push forward.
Totally. Ohn in a good spot, too. The trouble is over here, even Vanessa's a little bit more left than you want. If she was like where her bag is instead, it would be a much straighter shot. And now it's kind of an awkward little Heiser that you don't want to finish too far to the left.
Throwing it on the ground like that might seem like it was a mistake, but I think that was 100% intentional.
Well, definitely calculated. I mean,
Yeah.
I think she wanted to go farther, but
Low.
not. You do not want to fade into the woods.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's-
Ohn doing the same thing. Doesn't quite get past that tree, though.
Kristin, after throwing a sidearm off the tee, has a little gap to work with.
Tiny gap.
And it works out.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah. Henna just pitching out. She's still actually in a pretty, well,
Man,
she's tucked on that tree.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not the best pitch out. I was going to say distance-wise, she's not in the worst position to get her par, even with one of her shots being 20 feet.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Wow.
that is ridiculous.
That was so good. I never thought a flex forehand could get to the green from there.
I mean,
but
she
look
did
at
have to
it.
sneak it through that corner for sure, but perfect line.
Henna having to step back off of that tree. Still getting some good distance, and she'll give herself a circle 2 putt, but
Sometimes it's really obstructed in that corner, though. Vanessa, this is like a really, I feel like a professional tester upshot. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Vanessa's a professional. She did that really well. But like any casual player looking at that, that's so hard. Like
Yes.
that dead straight shot, trees everywhere, uphill, bad footing.
Not wanting any ground play
Yeah.
necessarily. That was a great shot from Kristin as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're making it look easy, showing themselves as being true professionals.
Henna unable to convert. That's going to be her first bogey. Kristin, nice scramble for par.
This plate is the most difficult hole of the day. No birdies. You can see why.
Let me into my zone. Please don't let me into my zone. 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 Please don't let me in. Please don't let me into my zone. I just need some time of my own. All these people trying to get a conversation. You can conversate to that tone. My God up on that throne, yeah. So I'm never alone, yeah. Ballin' can't beat me up, cause I'm back in my zone now.
Discraft Great Lakes Open Champion. Dynamic Disc Open Champion.
Open champion.
Kristin Tattar.
I've been dreaming about coming here and competing here, and now I'm finally here, so it's a dream come true.
Hole 5, uphill 305-foot hole. It's a little bit longer than that, but there is this downhill at the very end. But once you have to get all the way through these trees, you can go lucky through the corner, but it's risky because if you catch any of these trees and kick left, there's an out of bounds wall all the way down. Also, you want to keep it low because if you get all the way down this fairway and highs are out, you can find that out of bounds as well. The green is sloped, so any approaches have to come in really soft. If y'all saw that graphic again in the upper left-hand corner, we got 2 Hot Geese merch on GK Pro's website. Check it out. We got candles, we got aprons, we got mouse pads, and then we also have like regular stuff too, like hats and shirts.
Boring stuff. Whoa, that is early. Hopefully it's sat. It was low enough.
I think the forehand is the better play of the two here. It also feels less risky, but pretty much everything feels risky on this fairway. That was a nice little kick down into the center.
Yeah, easy par anyway. Everything's definitely risky. I almost feel like the backhand feels less risky because you can throw it a little lower and make more forward progress. You know what I mean? Like the forehand, you need to give it a little height.
That was the best case scenario on a tee shot I think I've ever seen from a backhand, and it still catches the last tree and almost goes out of bounds. Like it was fading towards the green. It was perfect.
Yeah, Henna definitely giving it the height it needs to get all the way there, but you throw it and then you're like, no.
This is the type of hole where you wish you could throw a lower speed disc, but because of the distance, we're having to throw faster discs, and it just makes everything high risk.
Well, I think that's probably the difference because Henna throws far enough where that was a Mako 3.
Oh.
That's why it had the height.
And that's why I didn't get the crazy kick.
Mm-hmm. Kristin just laying up for a par here. Vanessa for a long par save, catches a tree. Henna long with a birdie, lays up.
Only, let's see, 2 competitors finding their way into circle 1 on this hole for birdie.
This is rough to see from Vanessa.
It's not far off either.
Yeah.
But that's the thing
But
about Brewster. It's
easy to get flustered.
uh-huh.
And her mistakes are just compounding. It's
right on the out of bounds lines.
Mm-hmm. Always like the little claps for tap-ins.
Yeah.
Hole 6 is a downhill par 3. It's 345, but plays a lot shorter. You see a lot of mid-ranges off the tee. You want to push kind of into the right side trees and then kind of let the hill carry it down. If you throw something on a hyzer, it'll end up really far left with a pretty obstructed circle 2 look. Super birdieable, but also you can find so much trouble. I think early left is the worst mistake you could make.
Yeah, it feels a little chancy. There is a pure line to the basket, but it always feels like because it's a blind shot, you can't really avoid all the trees as you get closer to the green.
You definitely have to push like really straight to hit the pure line.
Mm-hmm.
Like you almost feel like you're going to hit the trees on the right.
Yep.
Like that's close. Obviously it's too far right, but not by much.
Nope.
And she gets pretty lucky. Gonna have a circle 2 putt.
Oh, that
I
was
thought it was
almost
good
perfect,
too.
yeah.
Dang it.
Great angle. It was pushing straight perfectly.
Vanessa early again.
That was a very friendly kick. Left side is brutal.
Yeah, that's pitch out land. That's looking good.
God,
Yeah.
her approaches are so money.
Particularly just the power and control she has with her standstills.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal.
But it's not too much power. It's like how do you just have the perfect touch on every approach?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Vanessa fading out hard left. She'll be just outside the circle, looking right at the basket instead of downhill.
Hopefully an unobstructed putt. Kristin kind of deep in here. That was a pretty small gap she tried to hit. Now laying up for a bogey.
Is this a run?
Hard to say. It was a good shot.
That was a great shot.
Ohn, definitely running it.
For birdie?
Ooh. Yeah, girl. There she is.
Huge. I wonder why she ran this one and not the other one.
I know, that's what I mean.
So weird.
I mean, this one definitely is slightly less risky.
Yeah.
Let's see it again.
But slightly, because it can go
Ohn
far
wobble. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
down this. Yep. Wow. One of only 4 birdies today.
Huh. Ohn looking good here. 2 down through 6 with that. Bogey free. Good effort for Vanessa, but that's going to be a bogey. Great scramble.
Vanessa closes one eye when she putts. It's like my favorite thing.
You know,
If you happen to like be across the green from her and watching, it's like one eye closed,
real
little aiming.
slow wink.
Yeah. Hole 7. It's one of my favorite holes on the course. It's a par 4. You can go early left here and then work your way through these trees and shorten the hole, or take this distance route towards this tee pad. And then you have a pretty wide open approach to the green, although it is another full distance drive to get up to the pin straight uphill. It says 518, but it definitely plays longer than that. This one I feel very hopeful about always when I step up to the tee. I'm
Me
like, I can
too.
get this one.
Until you land
There.
there. Ohn taking the hyzer route. The biggest issue with that route is you tend to skip into the left side trees and not have very much. The straight shot is definitely preferable, but you need a ton of very straight pure distance. And if you kick to the right over there, it's terrible. That's not terrible though.
She's actually
she's
far.
a little bit too deep.
Yeah, which
sucks because it's like such a pretty shot.
Yes, and that's such a crazy problem to have.
That's that Thunderbird again.
She probably just threw that 380.
Yeah, it looks so casual. Let's see if Kristin can adjust and meter the speed a bit. She can. Unfortunate to be tucked on a tree, though. That was a fortress. So 3 of our 4 ladies taking the straight gap.
Oh.
Terrible kick.
Terrible roll.
This is literally why I stopped throwing the straight shot. Because it sucks to be down there. You can work a little bit more in the hyzer gap.
Yeah.
There's less of these little tiny trees.
But look at this. Look at this sidearm.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Really technical.
Yeah, gets out to the gap, and she'll have a pretty straightforward approach to save par.
Ohn working around this tree.
Some nice standstill power.
Yeah. Gets most of the way up there.
It's pretty uphill from the second shot, regardless of which gap you choose to hit. It takes a lot of power. Throwing standstill is almost not quite possible to get there.
Kristin, just a little off compared to the past couple days. Yeah, like she's hit a couple of trees, which is unusual.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, I said it's hard to get there with a standstill.
She's on a knee.
She's on a knee.
Isn't that harder in theory?
Yeah.
Wow.
No legs needed.
No
actually.
legs needed. Just super prove you wrong. That was unbelievable.
Vanessa putting it out wide is what you have to do to get there and getting a nice friendly kick.
I'm surprised. Well, I guess the hyzer angle is not the best, but this left side has a lot of trees, and you kind of have to get lucky.
Yeah.
She laughs.
Yeah, you're just throwing at a wall and hoping you get through.
Nice little Anheuser forehand from Kristin.
Ooh, nice bid from Ohn to save par, but she'll have to settle for the bogue.
I feel like any of the 3 uphill par 4s that we've already played, if you get out of it with like only bogeying one, you're like,
What?
okay.
Heck? That was a lot of action at a very slow speed.
Yeah. What a scramble from Vanessa from where she was. Early right.
A nice par from Henna. There's 3 birdies. KT Tati, Sarah Hokum, and Maria Oliva.
Ohn's first bogey of the round there. Hole 8 is another uphill par 4. This one less than 500 feet though. You want to throw where the drone is flying on this left side, and then just try to throw something straight through this final gap here and try to get a look at your birdie. You're teeing kind of to the right side initially, and you have to throw a straight shot with maybe a little bit of fade. It's really easy to overturn it or like undercommit and fade out. It's really hard to hit the perfect line like this. That might even fade out too much actually.
But nice little tree love at the end.
Great distance. That rock right in front of that spotter, parallel to that is like where most of the field is landing. This is turned just a hair too much. There's kind of a fairway over there, though. It's not preferable.
It doesn't quite get you the birdie. but it does.
It can get you a circle 2 look.
Yeah.
But again, you see those rocks, and Kristin just blasts like 80 feet past them. Vanessa overturning it, kicking left. Huh. You seen a forehand drive on this hole?
I don't think so.
Oh, not exactly known for being conventional, though.
She gets really good distance with the sidearm.
There's those rocks. On the right side, though. Vanessa, definitely a little obstructed, but not too bad.
Ooh, that was a nice smooth shot. Turned over a little bit,
Just
but
a bit.
not bad.
Yeah, she's up there far enough where hopefully she can par pretty easily. Going sidearm again.
Not the greatest gaps right here,
Ooh.
but she finds one.
Yeah, that's not a big gap at all. Great shot. Man, look how far Henna is up here.
Just a standstill chip sidearm. It's uphill, but I mean, ooh, is that a little shorter than I think?
I think she's inside the circle, but still probably 25. Kristin, a little bit. She's lined up a little bit better than Ohn was to hit this gap.
I didn't even know there was a gap like that over there.
I mean, she's far enough up that there is.
Yep, found a good spot.
Vanessa's third.
Oh yeah, so good.
Great shot. That's the second really impressive super straight up shot we've seen from her at that distance. So Henna is outside the circle here for her birdie look. A little obstructed.
Yeah, forced to take the hyzer putt. Always feels a little awkward.
Ohn for birdie. Yeah. Gets her back to 2 down on the front.
Vanessa just catching those right side chains. Kristin with the birdie after a crush of a drive.
But also a very technical upshot. She just has it all. Time and time again.
And Henna with a par.
So I think Kristin's 2 down at this point. Henna's even. Kristin having a 4-stroke lead going into the last hole.
And to wrap up the back nine, this downhill 375-foot par 3 plays about that.
Yeah.
It's just such a narrow fairway, and you have to throw a distance driver at this sloped green, so it just feels like you have to put a lot into it. There's also the perfect guardian tree on the left side that doesn't quite let you throw the Annie shot that feels good, and that perfect guardian tree on the right that doesn't let you really throw a hyzer. So it's a very technical tee shot.
And it's a full power rip too. We used to tee from the tee pad, you can see, short.
Just in front of the big rock.
It was way more of an attackable birdie.
Yeah, this one just feels a little reckless because you're throwing a fairway driver. It just feels like the type of shot you want to throw a mid on, but that just can't get there.
Yeah, I can get to circle 2, but then the putt's risky. Ohn throwing just a little baby flex shot there. Gets almost a circle 2, I think.
This played as the 5th most difficult hole of the day. Just like a downhill 375. Why is it so hard?
This is an FD, and that's looking beautiful from Henna.
Really nice ground play as well.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And then
Goes long.
Yeah, once it crests the hill, if it has any speed, there's no chance of it slowing down. So it's just a weird hole.
Ooh.
Wow.
Pretty.
Yes, Vanessa.
That's getting to just outside the circle. Just a couple of birdies would kickstart Vanessa's round here.
Only 3 people landing in circle 1 in regulation.
Is Vanessa in the circle or just outside?
I think she's just outside.
Sit down, you.
Here's classic hole 9.
Yeah, I mean, not too bad of a roll. But it doesn't feel right if you don't get at least one roll here.
Yeah.
Ohn just laying up.
Vanessa, super death putt for birdie. Oh my gosh, that almost snuck in the backside.
Henna for birdie. Weird.
No. I hate it.
So comical.
I hate it.
Good comebacker for Vanessa.
Yeah.
Easy to let that kind of spiral. She was definitely obstructed, uphill look. That was great.
Kristin for her par. The orange sun on the top of the basket might be a little distracting.
You think so? Oh, weird.
That is weird.
Whoa. I don't even know what to talk about. We don't really see that from Kristin.
She is, in fact, not a robot. She's just like the rest of us. She takes double bogeys, too.
I don't know. That has to be her first double bogey in 6 events.
She got that out of her system, though, just in time for the end of the year swing.
Henna kind of laughing at her putter. All right, reviewing the round. Kristin even after the round. Henna even as well. Ohn 2 down. Very nice. And Vanessa just having trouble. Not a good start.
Yeah, and it's hard to make up strokes once you've leaked them. This course is not one where you're like, oh, I can just birdie out on the back. Like it's not
continues
how it is.
to be so hard. I mean, look at, we're back closer to par on the leaderboard here.
Still only 4 people below par in the front 9 for right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the max we see from the day today.
Yeah. Missy Gannon 3 down through 10, moving up. Join us on the back 9. Big thanks to our FPO VIP members. You keep us honking up here doing what we do, and we love you. So Vermont's a great place to be. It's a beautiful day. Come join us on the back 9. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your 2 hot geese.
Honk.
Honk.